section of the program is the what's new section or what's hot section, and it's basically an open panel discussion about what is the hot topic in hunting. And this month there's no question about what that topic is. It's obviously the the cull program that's being done but through the town of Southold in conjunction with the federal Department of Agriculture. IHE has taken a formal position on this. You can see our opposition letter, which was sent to Governor Cuomo, it was sent to our federal senators, it was sent to our state senators, it was sent to our state assemblymen, and it was also sent to all of our town supervisors. You can read the letter yourself, it's on our website, it should also be linked on our Facebook page. But long and short, our position in a nutshell is this does not need to be done. The solution to the problem, although we recognize that there is a problem, can be addressed by Long Island hunters without having resort going to the feds. And what we've proposed formally is essentially the DEC taking 4 simple steps. The first step would be, number 1, to lengthen the hunting season. All they would need to do is basically open up the hunting season until September. That's the first step that we've proposed. The second step is obviously reducing the discharge yardage requirement. Right now it's 500 feet. We feel we can have safe hunting here on Long Island with at least a 250-foot requirement, possibly less. And what you can do is couple that with an elevation requirement. Call it from 6 to 12 feet, and that would eliminate any collateral damage. Number 3, when you apply for your doe permits in the beginning, instead of making hunters reapply after a harvest of every single doe, why not just give them 3 or 4 doe permits to begin with? That would solve a lot of the problem. And number 4, why not enable homeowners who aren't hunting but recognize their problem, give them a permit that they could transfer to a hunter? Okay? If you do these simple things, and there's other steps as well, but if you do these simple things, there would be no problem, and you wouldn't have any need for the feds to come in using rifles, shooting at night, culling a gross inordinate amount of deer that they have no way of harvesting the proper way for food and dealing with the carcasses and so forth. So we strongly hope that everyone who's watching the show, anybody who has an interest in this, contact their elected officials and oppose it. I'm going to briefly bring in all of our guests briefly for a panel discussion about this, but we do have one special guest tonight who has really taken a proactive initiative on this, and I can certainly commend him for it. And he's also a new IHE member, Michael Tessitore, and he's also the proprietor and the owner of Hunters for Deer. And what Mike has done has just been great. You see a lot of the petitions online right now. A lot of them called for you to basically pull out a petition yourself and go solicit signatures. Mike's organization, it's very simple. He set up a website. You go right on. It says the petition is right there online. You click on it, you sign it electronically, and it's done. So it makes it a lot easier. And what Mike has been trying to do is to unify this petition effort. He's been in touch with the local leaders, so speak briefly about that. So before we open up the panel discussion about it, I'm just going to invite Mike down to talk briefly about his organization and a little bit about it. Thanks for coming down, Mike.
Thank you, Paul.
Appreciate it. So tell us what you got going on.
What don't we have going on? I mean, everybody, there's all different groups out here. The guys that like to hunt. You have your duck hunters, your bow hunters. You have your Smith's Point Archery, you got your archery forum guys. Everybody said, oh, this call's coming in, what are we going to do? Oh, I'll make a petition. You got the taxidermy shops, they made petitions. So you get these different petitions out there, and they'll have different things that they think should be on it. Like, what are we going to petition? Oh, we should do this. 2-3 pages long. So what I said, no, we'll talk, get together, we'll put one petition together, make it accessible. That was the problem. They weren't accessible.
Right, access is the biggest thing.
Access to that petition. So what we did, we created a web page. We did Facebook. We did a paper petition. You can go on our website at www.huntersfordeer.org. You can download it and print it if you have a brick and mortar business. Put it on a table, let people sign it. We'll come, we'll get those. but you can also go online and sign that electronic petition.
That's what made it so easy.
It opened it up.
That's what made it fantastic. And I know, I mentioned briefly what IHE's formal position was and the, our thoughts about how to address it.
Right.
I know you got some additional ideas by way of baiting and things like
Right,
that.
right.
The point as I see it is, right now it's presenting itself as a crisis, but with crisis becomes opportunity.
Absolutely.
And, if we can effectuate the changes in the regulations like you and I spoke of,
Right.
that's the goal. These regulations are long overdue here on Long Island as hunters,
Yep.
and, we should really seize upon it.
You can't compare upstate hunting with Long Island. We have two different needs, but we're under the same roof when it comes to regulation. So when I spoke to you, when I spoke to all these other shops, all these other hunters and stuff, we said this is an opportunity to start the conversation. To start the conversation about what can be done to make things different. We're not coming in here saying you got to allow baiting, you got to allow the 150-foot rule to come into play, you got to allow crossbows, you got to give us more access, which to me is like one of the biggest things that we have is the problem is access. We don't have access to those little blocks of land where hikers do. That you have a little state piece of land that say it's 20 acres, and you have access to go hunt there. Then right across the street's a nature preserve.
Right.
Can't hunt that. Guess what? I go in these woods. You're going that preserve.
Right.
So it's not really helping us out. They're not giving us the tools that we need, and it's obviously failing. If you're saying we have 34,000 deer on Long Island, it's failing. It's not working. The system that's in place is not working. So it needs to be changed. They don't want to see it that it needs to be changed. They want to look for a quick fix. Why? I spoke to our Southold supervisor, Scott Russell. He says, "Where were you 10 years ago?" He says to me, "Sir, I've been on Long Island for 10 years. He said, "No, I'm asking you, where was your group 10 years ago? Well, what are you guys going to do?" And I said, "Well, 10 years ago, you didn't threaten to bring the USDA with rifles, snipers, and goggles, night vision goggles, and let them hunt at night, and you're going to let them bait. We can't do that." Some of my guys, they put a post on a petition. They say, "Hey, why can't we use night vision goggles and rifles and bait at night?" So I said to him, "I don't want to fight with you, we want to work with you."
Right.
And he was very receptive to that, because at first he kind of thought we were coming in as in an adversarial role. And we said, "No, we want to work with you. The things that we're proposing, we're not looking to fight, we're looking to change, because something needs to change because it's not working at the present time."
Right.
And that's the hunting regulations. And it's not the DEC's fault, it's the politicians' fault. They're blocking legislation.
The politicians work for us.
That's right.
The politicians work for us, and so, we in the hunting community, we need to get involved in that. With that said, I'm certainly interested in our panelists tonight thoughts on it. So I'll invite you guys back down.